In this video, I'm going to show you how to find the derivative of a function raised to another function. So to do that, let's have a specific example. So let's find the derivative of x to the x. So it's not x to the third to use power rule, it's not 3 to the x to use the logarithmic one, it's x to the x. So let's say method 1. Let's differentiate using method 1 called logarithmic differentiation. So how do we do that? Well, let's call f of x equals x to the x. Let's say we have this. I'm going to apply ln to both sides. So we get ln of f of x equals ln of x to the x. But properties of exponents are telling us that we can bring this x in front. So ln of f of x equals x ln x. So now we have a product of two functions. Let's differentiate both sides with respect to x. So the left side is the derivative of ln of a composed function, or in other words, use chain rule. So we are going to get f prime of x over f of x. And then the right hand side is the product of two functions, so we use product rule. X prime ln x plus x times ln x prime. So the left side is f prime of x over f of x, and the right side is ln x plus x times 1 over x. So f prime x over f of x equals ln x plus x divided by x, we get 1. Or I can write even better to emphasize the fact that ln is only of x, I can write 1 plus ln x. Now let's not forget we wanted to find the derivative of x to the x. So, and that was called f of x. So in order to find the derivative of f of x, we want to find f prime of x, which is this quantity. So to find just f prime of x, we're going to multiply by f of x both sides. So f prime of x equals f of x, or let's say 1 plus ln x times f of x. So f prime of x equals 1 plus ln x times x to the x, because that was our original problem. This is the solution. So now let's take a look at another method, method 2, using base e. So let's remember a few things. If I have a to b and I want to write it as base e, I can use the fact that e ln of a to b is equivalent to a to the b. B comes in front and it gives us e to b ln a. So in other words, an expression, an exponent as a to the b can be written with base e in this form, e to b times ln a. So any base, like for example, if I have 2 to the third, if I want to write it as base e, I will write it e to 3 ln 2. So having this information, let's write our x to the x. So we write x to the x as e x ln x. So e x ln x prime, well, how do I differentiate of e to a u function? Chain rule, it's e to u times x ln x prime. Now this quantity here, this factor, e to x ln x, it's x to the x, what we had before, because that's how we started. We started with x to the x prime, we wrote it as base e, so we are going back to the original one. And then x times ln x is the product rule which we used before, and we got 1 plus ln x. So in other words, if we compare the two results, we got the same thing by using two different methods. So feel free to use any of these methods for examples like cosine of x to sine of x, like x to cosine x, 2x to 3x, tangent x to x. All these are functions to other functions, and the easiest way is to just write each of them as base e. So this formula here, the green one, the blue one, is very useful in these kind of problems.